Namaskar. Welcome to Awakening with Brahmakumaris. Welcome, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, and welcome to Going Beyond.
Thank you so much.
I was just watching a wedding going here. Celebrations in this area from the last 3 days. I was just thinking how much of competition and the kind of rituals, and I don't know what to call it. I mean, how can we go beyond rituals or beyond pleasing the society? Or because whenever I used to do something, what I wanted, I said, why should I do this just because others do? No. There's a nice word in Hindi, दुनियादारी है, रिश्तेदारी है. One has to take care of the society, the relatives.
Actually, when these rituals, customs, traditions were started, they were started with the most purest intention and performed with the most purest intention. Everything is sacred, is traditional, its customs, belonging to different nationalities, castes, cultures, and everything was sacred. And most of them even had a spiritual significance to it. It was a time which we take out during the year. Weddings, of course, different, but different rituals that we perform during the year, different traditions that have been set in the year, they had a spiritual significance. They had come to remind us of something that we would forget during the course of the whole year, busy in everything that we're doing. But today, sometimes, we forget everything else. The significance of why we are performing that tradition, the message that it has come to remind us of, the intention which is of our own well-being and the well-being of everybody around us, and now we are focused only on everything outside. So that is what has changed, and that is something which we need to work on so that we enjoy what we are doing. Otherwise, we're doing more like social pressure, competition, fear. Sometimes fear. A lot of things are happening out of fear. And this is something we need to remember, that in order to do the right karma, in order to enjoy everything that we are doing, it's not in the doing. We will have to check the intention behind it. If any of these emotions are there in the background, then the intention is not very pure because it is mixed with either fear, jealousy, prejudice, competition. So then it's not really being done in the right spirit. If something is not being done in the right spirit, then really we will not be able to make the most of it. Now, a lot of people, like you said, weddings or everything that we do at weddings, the way we celebrate them, and not only weddings, any festivals that we are celebrating, even simple festivals like Raksha Bandhan, which is supposed to be most pure, sanctity, the divinity of the festival. Today the focus is, what Rakhi is it going to be? Is it gold Rakhi or silver Rakhi? What is the gift that I am going to get? What is the gift that I should give? They gave me this, I should give this. Then the family around will say, what did your brother give? What did your sister give? And it's become less of the sanctity of the festival and more of a status symbol. So the festival or the ritual is losing its purity. It's losing its sanctity. And then we are not enjoying the festival. In fact, we are creating stress, anxiety, and fear. Very recently, there was an article in Times of India, very strange article because I was quite surprised to read that. And it said, it was of course a Western study, but then it said it applies to the whole world. And it says maximum number of divorces happen during the festival season.
What?
Yeah, maximum couples who decide to break up and to move away happens during the festival time. And when it was like first page on the lower end, and I was reading that, and I said, no, I haven't understood something correctly, and so must read this properly.
Probably because the male who earns money, or the person whoever brings in money, is not bringing enough to spend in the festival.
And they said one is the couple is spending too much time together. something which they don't do during normal working days. So they're together only during holidays and festival. That was first point. Second point was there are too many of social pressures, because of which there's a lot of difference of opinion between the two people. And they're very stressed because of all the social pressures, which comes out on their relationship with each other. And third was the financial pressure. And these three reasons can actually become a cause of differences between the husband and the wife.
You give this to my family, I give this to your family.
We will need to go beyond this, because otherwise we are suffocating ourselves, making beautiful relationships complicated, and most important, losing the purity of everything that we are doing. It's focused more on status symbol. Everything seems to become a status symbol. And now I cannot change the world. I cannot change people around me, but I can stop and check. Is there anything that I want to change in the way I am carrying out all these rituals, traditions and festivals? And the only thought that will stop me from wanting to change, because I talk to so many people and deep down most of them want to change it. Most of the people want to change the way it's happening, but the only one thought is society. What will people say? In Hindi we say, log kya kahenge?
I think we should have people have this Mother's Day and Brother's Day and whatever, Teacher's Day. We should have an anti-gift day now and just give love to each other.
See, that's the most important thing. The whole idea of giving the gift was supposed to be a symbol of love, a symbol of appreciation, a symbol of thanksgiving. You want to say thank you to somebody and you give them a gift. But now all those intentions were no longer there. Because the intention, maybe I want to give a thank you gift to somebody. But if my intention of gratitude is getting mixed with social pressure, financial pressure, stress, then gratitude and pressures and fears cannot stay together. So at a time, I can only use one intention. When I use the other ones, the negative ones, the purity of this intention has got adulterated. So I really need to stop and check, because even for the person receiving the gift, it's less about the gift. It's more about the intention that was being transmitted. So we need to really stop and focus on this one line. What will people say? And work on it. It's a very interesting experiment. Work with this line. It will keep troubling you for some time, but gradually, if we break free of this one line, we're liberating ourselves and going beyond tremendous amount of stress and anxiety.
I'll tell you what I did in 1974. In 1974, when such things were really on the top, what will the world say? What will happen? How will my other brothers and sisters get married? In my wedding, I refused to have a reception in Hyderabad. I said, I am going to use that money. I'm going for a holiday with my wife. And people used to go, he's a rebel and he's this, he's that. No.
This is most important. This is what we have to check, but then apply it at every aspect of our life. It's not that we are disrespecting people. It's not that we are disregarding society or the norms of society. It's just that we need to start living our life the way we are comfortable. It's not rebel. It's just that I am comfortable doing this and I respect that you are comfortable doing it another way. And my respect does not get affected if people are going to speak about me. Anyways, it will last for just a few days. And now I need to stop and ask myself, what will people say? How does it matter? Answer. I have to keep on answering myself. What will people say? Suppose everyone around me says that what I've done is wrong. So how does that make a difference? Then the answer that will come to me is, if everyone around me thinks that I'm wrong, then people will not like me. And I have been taught since this age that I am a nice person only if the world says so. And so to feel nice, to approve of myself, I needed people's approval.
Sister, my stand was nothing to do with the world or disapproval or what. I was not earning that time. and I didn't have enough money to spend, and I was the last person to borrow. Today, if I have money and if I do it, fine. So I was just being very practical.
That is what.
Nothing defying anybody
not
or
at all.
against or rebel.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough money. I said, what's the point?
Exactly. So that is what, according to my capacity.
Yeah.
Let me do things according to my capacity, what is comfortable to me, and what I really feel like doing. Certain things could be, it's not in my capacity today. Certain things could be, I don't feel like doing that. Certain things could be that it's too challenging, I just don't want to do it. I will not do those just because what will people say. But for that, I will have to work on my self-esteem first. Otherwise, I'll not be able to break free of this. Because when I do something which is different from what people approve of, it can happen that momentarily I might have to face a little reactions from people around me. Then not a single word of anyone around me should disturb me. And definitely, I should not feel that those people are not right. Because they are right according to their perspective. They choose to do their things in a particular way, and I've just chosen to do it in a different way, which according to them is not right, but that's only their perspective. So that if I do something which is different, like we saw earlier, using our values, different maybe from people around me, but then people's opinion about me should not have an effect on me. Everyone around me will say something. It should not affect me, and I definitely should not hold it against those people, because otherwise then my feeling good is finished. So then the whole idea of why I did things differently will get diluted, because I did things differently because I was happy doing it that way. But then if I create anger and resentment after the event or after the function, then that really doesn't serve the purpose. I might as well have done it the way people approve of, because I'm just proving it to myself that people's approval matters to me. My happiness depends on people's approval.
But don't you think, what do you think about this line, be a Roman in Rome, or one has to do certain things if you live in that kind of a society? There are certain norms, certain regulations, relationships, give and take, birthday parties, all these. But these are the things which are a get-together for happiness.
Yeah, so if that get-together is giving you something, if you're feeling nice about it, obviously you should do it. But not when you are upset inside. You're probably taking a loan to hold that event. You're probably under a lot of stress just holding that event. What happiness is it going to give you? That is the conflict. Let's not do things with so much of discomfort inside just because we want to please people, and then we're thinking when people will be pleased and they will think I'm good, then I will be happy. I will not be happy unless I'm happy before I start organizing that event or the tradition. That only that individual should be able to do for themselves. Whether it's celebrations, functions, rituals, traditions, customs. Like you said, wherever you are, you have to do that. It's relationships. Well, relationships were supposed to be love, respect, understanding. Relationships was not supposed to be give and take of gifts. It was give and take of love instead. What if I buy you a gift, but then I create so much before that? Now what to buy for them? This is such a big problem, buying gifts for people. I can't even understand what to buy. Anyways, whatever I buy, don't know whether they will use it or don't use it. They will just keep it away. I don't know who's created all these
things. Away.
Yeah. So this thinking, and then I buy a gift and I give it to you. What's the relationship? And today we're doing so much for each other, all of us. We can buy the most expensive gifts, and yet the relationships are so fragile. One word and the whole relationship can shake, because the relationship was getting established on these foundations.
So what should be the real gift?
What should be the real gift that we can give each other? Yes, we need to, of course, buy gifts. See, do everything outside what comes comfortable. And this subtle checking, why am I doing this? How comfortable am I doing it? Am I doing it for myself, or am I doing it more to please people? Because the risk is, if I'm doing it to please people and somebody doesn't get pleased, then again I will get hurt. At any wedding, there is always someone or the other who is dissatisfied. Always. Someone, something, they're not going to approve of it. I should be prepared for that, because it's everyone's choice. It's not necessary what I prepared, the way I did it, is something that everybody else will appreciate. Checking. Am I doing this for other people's appreciation?
Lot of peer pressure, sister. Lot of pressure.
What is peer pressure?
Peer pressure?
Yeah, what is peer pressure?
Oh, why don't you wear something of some brand? Which phone do you have? I have this. Which car do you have? That puts pressure.
So this is only public opinion, right? But what pressure? Nothing. Pressure is, if I have this, then people will approve of me. If I don't have it, people might not approve of me. That's peer pressure.
Once I took a Ford Icon for my golf, and one of my neighbors said, "I don't have a car. Will you drop me home?" I said, "Sure, come." So I dropped him. And next day he rings up and says that my children were very unhappy and they were laughing. I said, "Dad, your friend has a Ford Icon. He doesn't have a Mercedes. Isn't this pressure?"
If this is pressure, then I'm going to stop and ask myself, what do I want to do? Either succumb to pressure or face the pressure, or then protect myself from pressure.
Every time I go to somebody's house, a so-called XYZ, they come to the door to drop you, and they look at the car.
Why does it matter so much to me?
They treat
Only
you differently.
Because, okay.
Even a 5-star hotel guy, the man who'd open the door who salutes a Mercedes, not a Maruti.
So why am I succumbing to that pressure? Because when I do it their way, I will be getting this so-called respect,
yes.
So-called appreciation,
So-called salutes,
so-called approval from people. So when I get all this so-called respect, appreciation and approval, which is only outwardly, because internally they may be resisting me, rejecting me, saying all kinds of things about me, but outwardly I'm getting this appreciation and approval, and I am using this outwardly appreciation and approval as a source of my happiness. Then it's a question mark on what foundation is my happiness resting.
This angle I never thought of.
One single word from anyone, because even if you buy the best car, the best clothes, do things the best way, and if there are 100 people, 99 people can appreciate you or approve you in a particular way, you can find one person who will say something totally different. And then that one line which the other person says really, really hurts. And I get very disturbed. How dare they say this to me? Because I thought that when I do this, people will only give me appreciation. And then I don't like that sentence, I don't like the word, and I don't like the person. And I am disturbed instead of having bought the best dress, the best car, and the best of everything, because when I buy it, means everybody should approve of it. That's why this line is so important. What will people say when I remember? Then I also need to remember that I have so many people around me. If some will say one thing, then another lot is going to say another thing. If you have a huge wedding, then there are some who are going to say, "Oh, very good, very nice," and there are some who are going to say, "What a waste." If you buy a huge car or you're dressed up very well, some will say, "Very nice." Some will say, "Oh, I'm sure they could have done it this way and shared this money with some other work." Public opinion doesn't mean I don't use the best car. It doesn't mean that I don't buy the best clothes, but it just means that I do it for myself, not use it as a stimulant to earn people's appreciation, approval, and respect. Then it's not being done with the right intention. Buy everything, do everything, and do it just the way we want to do it, but comfortable, and most important, for myself, not for what will people say. That becomes very risky. What will people say? What will people say has become one of our factors to take decisions, from as simple as, like you said, what to wear, which car to use, to which career my children will follow.
I don't think you can go beyond this, sister, because this has become the in thing, lifestyle.
Like when you start working on yourself, and gradually as the soul becomes powerful and the happiness of the soul starts becoming independent of situations and people. Today our feelings are dependent on people, right? A nice word from you and I'm happy, and a little unpleasant word and I'm sad, then I'm totally dependent. So when I start working on myself, my happiness starts becoming my property, which means people's behavior and words impact becomes lesser gradually. It will not happen in one go. Gradually it's becoming lesser, and as this is happening, then what will people say? The impact of this line also will gradually start reducing, because now my happiness, my respect for myself is my property. It's not dependent on approval and appreciation, and definitely not outwardly approval and appreciation. Genuine respect? Yes. Let's say, like you said, I walk into a restaurant and the person who opens, the usher who opens the gate, is going to salute me. Okay? Now, suppose you don't talk properly to him, or you just shout at him, or something he's made a mistake and you say something to him. He will still salute you. But you know what he will be feeling about you internally. So now I need to ask myself, did I really earn my respect from him? But for me, just that outwardly salute was enough, and I used that as a stimulant to feel good. World respects me. It's more important, what does the world feel about me? And that is only going to be dependent on what I feel about myself. So let me start checking my feelings pure, beautiful. Then I will automatically get love and respect from everybody else, because that's what I'll radiate to them.
So if one has to go beyond what will the world say, what will the people say?
What will people say? I mean, people are using that to decide children's careers. People are using that to decide married partners, spouse for their children.
Yeah.
I mean, recently in Delhi, we've had number of honor killings where families, brothers, parents have killed the girl or the boy in their house just because they were planning to get married out of their community or society. That's the extent to which social pressure can go. A parent or a family can get their own daughter killed.
An extremely rich man can easily comment and say, these are uneducated people. How uneducated to do such a thing? And when his turn comes, he would again come into the similar pressure if his daughter is getting married to maybe somebody.
I've seen, it's actually nothing to do with education or to do with power or money or status. It's just a soul's way of thinking. A soul's way of thinking, yes, society and where you're brought up does have an impact on you. But finally, it's each soul. I have seen the best of families who have everything and very well to do, very well educated, but children are in depression because of certain decisions which parents didn't allow them to take, and the only reason was, what will our society say? Very recently, there was this family I met in Delhi, and they lost their 10-year-old boy, left the body. And they have 2 daughters now, one is 14, one is 12. Of course, the environment in the house is painful, but it's been 6 months that they lost their boy. And now the girls, they are children also, 12 and 14. So it's been a very depressing environment at home for the last 6 months. So it started affecting these 2 girls. And they wanted to go out. They want to go for a movie. It's a small town near Delhi. And then the mother was so much, so confused. And she says, my daughter wants to go for a movie. I said, were you thinking so much about taking your daughter for a movie? She's really gone through a tough period for the last 6 months. If that's going to make her feel better, then good for her. So she said, no, how can I take her for a movie? I said, why? She said, do you know what will people say? I said, yeah, really? Your child is heading towards depression. She said, no, I can't do this. What will my sister? We live in a small place. If I go for a movie, very soon everybody will know. So I cannot take my daughter out.
So one should mourn at least for a year.
Whatever may be the reason. See, it is the girl wants to go. The mother wants to take because she can see her child in pain. But she is not doing what is comfortable for her and for her family.
Why?
Only because what will people say?
That's what I told you.
Now, if she has to just sit back and see that in that whole town, everybody will have a different opinion. If she takes the girl for a movie, a lot of people are going to say, oh, they're not even sad that their son died. So that will be one opinion. And if she doesn't take them for the movie and the children are going through pain, another set of people are going to say, look at the mother, she doesn't even care for her daughters. Which one are you going to follow?
If the daughter had died, she would have definitely taken the son for a movie.
Oh, ma'am, I didn't think of this. Yes, I didn't think of this.
The son is more important than daughter is less. So many things now.
So many things. How can we do things according to people's opinions? Listen to people, take advice, take feedback, yes. But living my life according to what people will say? This can be very, very damaging for us. Lot of pressure which we have unnecessarily taken. We have enough of other pressures. So I need to now stop and tell myself, I will lead my life the way it is comfortable, which doesn't mean my choice. See, when you say we should take care of people in the society we live, we are not doing that if my choice is causing any kind of harm or pain to anybody. Then I'm not on the right path. But if my choice is only for me, good or bad, for me, it's not having any effect on other people except for their opinion. That's all. Apart from that, it doesn't do anything else to them. Then it's totally my life. Me and my immediate family. And I have to see only their comfort. What will happen initially, there may be a little resistance from people around. But I'm confident, my self-respect is intact, I'm happy. These vibrations will radiate to people around and sooner or later, they will approve of what I have done. It will. I can tell you is when I came first to the Brahma, the kind of friend circle and so-called society that I was coming from made a lot of fun. Lot of fun. Ridicule, absolutely.
They made a lot of fun of you?
Yes, so much, because they thought that I'm wasting my life. I've made some terrible decision. What have I done? And they would say things like, you studied so much, you've wasted your education, you are all sorts of things. It's okay, that's past. Now at that time, if I had to just take everybody's opinion and then decide what I want to do in life, then my decision would have been something else. There are a lot of times when we have to stand only for what is right for me. So many people don't come to Brahmakumaris centers only because people around them have something to say. They want to come. They want to learn. They know they'll get that power with which they will be able to face their own challenges in life. But if I come,
what will my guru say?
What my guru say is okay, still understandable. But what will my neighbors say? What will my relatives say? What will everybody say? For that, I'm depriving myself of something which I feel and I need it. I'm saying I will not do it. This is some unnecessary pressure. It is pressure, but it's an unnecessary self-created pressure. Magnitude, each one to their own. And if we start working on it, very soon we can get rid of this pressure totally.
And the clock is giving me pressure now.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.